Hello, each standard. Have a nice day. Now we'll continue video number 5. The topic what we have learned yesterday is the continuation of the lesson, but as such, chapter number 9 and chapter number 10 in our textbook, they are almost interrelated. So when I say question for test chapter 9 means chapter 10 also included. Chapter 10 means chapter 9 also included. Both the chapters are interrelated. Okay. So now here the gametes formed by the gonads, they are as male as sperm and female as ovum. Okay. Now this male and female, it is as formed as the sperm, it is having as a head region. Head it is from having nucleus and tail. I hope you are able to follow this. And then this ovum, it is internally, it is as vitelline membrane, double layered vitelline membrane. It is as vitelline membrane. Okay. So this is vitelline membrane. Spelling for the book. This is vitelline membrane. Then followed by that, followed by that is the zona pellucida. It is as zona pellucida, and following that is the corona radiata. This is called corona radiata. This is the structure of human ovum. Okay. And in human, it is as A-vesicle egg. Now this A-vesicle egg will fuse with the sperm. Sperm will fuse with the egg with the nucleus. This is nucleus and this is cytoplasm. Nucleus and cytoplasm, and that forms the zygote, and the fusion of male and female gamete. The process is called the fertilization, and the resulting embryo, the resulting structure, it is called zygote. Okay. Now this zygote on further development will forming the embryo and the fetus. Embryo and the fetus. Okay. And that on further growth is forming the embryo. First 3 months it is called embryo, and then further it is called fetus. And the period of growth and development within the mother's womb, that is called gestation period. Okay. And then the child grows, and accordingly the body growth is also taking place. And when the child reaches the age of 13, and then we find some bodily changes in both boys and girls. That period of changes during the age group as 13 to 19, it is called teenagers, and on that period is known as adolescence. Adolescence, it is as growing up a natural process. The period of life, the period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity. That is known as adolescence. So that mark it as a defined adolescence. Growing up is a natural process. The period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity. That is known as adolescence. Okay. And when the human attains puberty, maturation. The human body undergoes several changes during adolescence. These changes marks the onset of puberty. And normally puberty will start going and puberty ends when the adolescent reaches reproductive maturity. For the time of reproduction, puberty will end. I hope you understand. So by the time the child faces bodily changes, that marks the beginning of puberty, and when the child starts reproducing at the on maturity, that is called adolescence. I hope you understand that. And once reproduction starts, adolescent stage also will stop it. Okay. So during changes at puberty, we find increase in height, change in body shape, change in voice, change in development of sex organs, and increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. In the side heading எல்லாம் சொல்லலாம். இதெல்லாம் changes at puberty, அதாவது increase in height, change in body shape, change in voice change, and increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland, and secondary development of secondary sexual characters. Okay. So now the change in increase in height, normally the length of the long bones as bones in the hand and legs will increase, and height of the boys and girls will also increase. Normally, due to the age group, the calculation for full height, the tabular column approximate percentage as calculation for full height, present height by percentage of full height at this stage as given in this chart. That is giving the percentage. Calculation for a full height. Example, a boy is 9 years old and 130 centimeter tall. Then at the end of growth period, he is likely to be 160 centimeter tall. Every 120 by 75 into 100. That is to calculate the full height of the boy or a girl. Okay, that is increase in height. Then second one, change in body shape. Change in body shape as this is because they have entered the age of puberty when shoulders generally broaden as result of growth. In girls, the hip region will become widened. In boys, muscles of the body grow more prominently than in the girls. Thus, changes occurring in adolescent boys and girls, they are different. Then voice change, normally in boys, during adolescent period, the changes, voice change will be there. It is called at puberty, voice box of the larynx begins to grow. Boys develop larger voice than box. Boys develop larger voice boxes. The growing voice box in boys can be seen as protruding part. They will protrude that is known as Adam's apple. So appearance of Adam's apple. Same in girls, larynx is hardly visible from the outside because it's smaller size. Generally, girls have high-pitched voice, whereas boys have a deep voice. In adolescent boys, sometimes the muscles of the growing voice box go out of control and the voice become the Adam's apple இருந்தாலும் they speak softly. Sometimes they feel rough or and then increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. Increased active sweat and sebaceous gland secreted by the skin glands. On the skin is having outer layer as epidermis. Below that is the hypodermis. Then comes the dermis. 3 layers of skin, and in that the dermis will have fixed Sweat gland secreted by the sweat gland. Sweat secreted by the sweat gland. And oil gland, it is called the sebum. Oil gland, it is called the sebum, secreted by the sebaceous gland. Oil gland sebum, it is secreted by the sebaceous gland. And then development of sex organs. At puberty, the development of sex organs will occur. Right? And then the most important, reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. As adolescence is a period of change in person's way of thinking. Mark important 5-mark question. They are more independent than before and are also self-conscious. Intellectual development takes place and they tend to spend considerable time of thinking. In fact, it is often the time in one's life when the brain has the greatest capacity for learning. Sometimes, however, adolescents may feel insecure while trying to adjust the changes in the body and mind. We'll just continue. So we'll continue this changes in our body. It is also occurring most effectively by the secretion of endocrine glands called hormones. Okay. Now, what are hormones? Hormones are chemical substances which are required in a very minute quantity, and they are straight away poured into the bloodstream. What does it mean? For example, when we take digestive glands, salivary gland, liver, pancreas, and then stomach, they are all secreting enzymes and they are carried out by the duct as salivary duct, and then liver as a bile duct, pancreatic duct. So these are all enzyme secretion. They are carried out by the duct and reaching the target site. Target na enga pono and the okay. Same way, when these hormones, when they are straight away poured into the bloodstream and then in the blood circulation, wherever places it needs, that is called target site. It is reaching the target site. Okay. Now, what are the endocrine glands normally? We find endocrine gland first as pituitary gland, pituitary, thyroid gland, and then within that parathyroid, and then pancreas. In pancreas, it is islet cells. Otherwise, we say islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. And then adrenal gland. And then sex organs. Adrenal gland and sex organ, testis and ovary. So now these glands, pituitary gland, it is present in the base of the brain. Pituitary gland is present in the base of the brain and it is secreting or it is initiating on the hormone secreted by these endocrine glands. Plus, it is also initiating the growth of the body. So that is called somatotropic hormone. Somatotropic hormone. This is STH. Somatotropic hormone, otherwise called growth hormone. Then thyroid gland, it is present in the neck region, secreting thyroxine. Thyroid gland present in the neck region that secretes thyroxine. and it is mainly needed for iodine metabolism. Okay, and embedded among the thyroid gland is the parathyroid gland, where it secretes parathyroid. Where it is secreting the hormone called parathyroid. Okay. And then pancreas, it is as dual gland. Pancreas is called dual gland, where it secretes both enzyme for digestion and hormones for metabolic activities. And those hormone secreting region, this is the pancreas, where the patches are present. They are the islets of Langerhans. And these islets of Langerhans, they are formed of two types of cells. One is called alpha cell and another one is beta cells. And alpha cells will secrete the hormone glucagon, and beta cell will secrete the hormone insulin. I hope you are able to follow this. So here pancreas, it is a dual gland where it is secreting the enzyme portion, pancreas acids for digestion, and some patches here and there, they are called islets of Langerhans. It is formed of two types of cells, alpha cells and beta cells. Alpha cells will secrete the hormone glucagon, and beta cells will secrete the hormone insulin. I hope you are able to follow this. And then adrenal gland, it is present above the kidney on both the sides, and this adrenal is secreting the hormone adrenaline. Adrenal gland secretes the hormone adrenaline. Okay, and then sex hormone testis, it is secreting testosterone. It is secreting testosterone, and ovary is secreting estrogen. And then at the time of pregnancy, it secretes progesterone. I hope you are able to follow this. So this is the endocrine secretion. Okay. So here we find as reaching page 116 reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity, this paragraph. Okay. And then about the secondary sexual characters that you will go through this page. And then hormones, where in testes and ovary, it is as testosterone. Here it is estrogen, and the pregnancy hormones, it is called progesterone. Okay. Then the endocrine glands, page 117. The endocrine glands release hormones into the bloodstream to reach a particular body part called target site. What does it mean? Suppose my hand portion needs some thyroxine hormone from the thyroid gland. Thyroxine is secreted, circulated through the bloodstream, reaching the target site. Okay, the target site responds to the hormone. There are many endocrine glands or ductless gland in the body. As it is straight away poured into the bloodstream, it is called ductless gland. I hope you understand. Then the testes and ovaries secrete sex hormones, right? And they are responsible for secondary sexual characters, right? And all these hormones, they are controlled by pituitary gland. What does it mean? For thyroid gland to secrete thyroxine, it is activated by thyroid stimulating hormone. It is called TSH. It is activated by the pituitary thyroid stimulating hormone. Same way, pancreas islet also is stimulated by the pituitary gland. At the same time, it is the controlling center. What does it mean? Suppose thyroid gland, it secretes excess thyroxine. Then it is controlled by this pituitary thyroid stimulating hormone. If it secretes in a less number, that is also controlled by TSH. So when it is secreting in excess, it is called hypersecretion. When it secretes in less amount, it is hyposecretion. So when it is secreting less amount, then it is accelerating the secretion. When it is secreting more, it inhibits the excess secretion. I hope you are following. So that is for the secretion of these glands. Okay. Then see here. As hormone from pituitary, same here this is stimulating the gonads also, and to release the male and female hormone. Then it is released in the bloodstream and reach the parts of the body that is called target site. And then it stimulates the changes in the body at the onset of puberty. This is important. Brief answer you have to learn. I hope you understand this. Okay. So here this is, and then this is the reproductive phase in human as when the onset of reproduction occurs in female, the menstrual cycle when it starts, it is as menarche. That is called menarche. That is known as menarche. It is the onset of menstrual cycle. When it starts at the age of 50 to 55, it is called menopause stage. This is in female. I hope you understand this. So that is the description of this here. If the fertilization does not occur, the release stage in the lining of the uterus along with the blood vessels are shut off. This causes menstruation. And it occurs once in 28 to 30 days. And the first is termed as menarche, M-E-N-A-R-C-H. I hope you understand. So these two definitions you should know, right? And then how is the boy or girl determined? That is sex determination in human. Okay, that is as, say for example, in sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. Is it not? So this is female and this is male. And this will produce the gamete X and this will produce the gamete X. Right. Female is represented by XX, male as X and Y. So when this X and this X, like this and this, like this. I hope you understand. Same way, this X, right? So இது வந்து female, this is male, female, male. Like that, the sex of the child is determined. இதை வந்து நம்ம bookல இருக்கு reference பார்க்கலாம். Okay. Then as endocrine gland, as I said now, this is the structure. This is the structure, position of the endocrine gland that we will refer. As I said now, it is pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, and then position of the testis and ovary. I hope you understand this. And then as the gland, as I said, on the gland description, it is given here. Okay. And then it is the general topic, reproductive health and nutritional needs of adolescent, where you will learn all these details that you have already learned in this lesson that you will go through. Okay, but you should avoid junk food and oily food. So here it is about the personal hygiene that is also to be taken care of. I hope you understand. And then you should not adolescent stage, the behavior and the changes in the bodily changes will decide your character. So it is up to you to go towards positive changes and negative characters to be avoided. That you have to take care. Okay, so that you please do carefully. I hope you understand. Now this in your textbook, this what is it? Crossword puzzle given, that also that alone I am just giving you the answer, that you please take it as last page paper book back crossword puzzle. As note down first one. I am telling both as cross and down, across and down. First one, testosterone. Second, thyroid. Third, Adam's apple, adolescence. And three. So, Adam's apple, adolescence. Then fourth, endocrine. 5, target size. 6, larynx. Rend 7 as one is pituitary, another one puberty. Endocrine gland attached to the brain across on the pituitary, down on the puberty. Then 8th one, hormone. 9, insulin. 10, estrogen. I repeat, 1, testosterone. 2, thyroid. 3, 3 இருக்கு Adam's apple, adolescence. 4, endocrine. 5, target site. 6, larynx. 7, pituitary and puberty. 8, hormone. 9, insulin. 10, estrogen. I hope you are marking this. Yes, sir? Right. My textbook question. First one, what is the term used for secretion of endocrine gland? Hormone answer. Hormones are the secretion of endocrine glands responsible for changes taking place in the body. I repeat, hormones are the secretion of endocrine glands responsible for changes taking place in the body. Okay. Second one, define adolescent. It is given in our textbook that we will mark it. Adolescence is the period of life in which organisms become reproductively active. And then what is menstruation? Answer given in the book. Then is the changes in the body that takes place at maturity. And the heading alone choneda and the heading vedana. Okay. Then question number 5. Construct a table having 2 columns depicting names of endocrine organ and hormone secreted by them. First, pituitary. The body order first pituitary as stimulating hormone, all growth stimulating hormone. Somatotropic hormone STH, or thyroid stimulating hormone TSH. Okay, then thyroid gland thyroxine, pancreas insulin, adrenaline, testis testosterone, ovary estrogen. I hope you are able to follow this. Then question number 8, write notes on Adam's apple and a paragraph. Write notes on Adam's apple. Then secondary sexual characters. Then third one, sex determination in unborn baby. Sex determination in unborn baby. So we are just discussing textbook questions. We are just discussing textbook questions. I hope you are able to follow this. Okay. And then choose the correct option that you can try. Adolescents should be careful about what they eat because on the table and the answer second option. Proper diet is needed for the rapid growth taking place in their body. Then reproductive age in women starts when their first option that. Then which of the following constitute right meal for adolescent? Second option chapati, dal and vegetables. I hope you understand this. Huh? And then this is about the what is it as crossword puzzle channel. Yeah. Same way, chapter 9 உள்ள crossword puzzle note பண்ணிக்கோ. Chapter 9 crossword puzzle எடுத்துக்கோ. Just note பண்ணிக்கோ அப்புறம் follow பண்ணு. First one fertilization. நான் வந்து டவுன் கிராஸ்லாம் சொல்லி நம்பர் வைஸ் சொல்லுவேன். First one fertilization. Number 2 testis. 3 zygote. 4 oviparous. 5 binary. 6 internal. 7 buds. 8 ovary. Repeat. 1 fertilization. 2 testis. 3 zygote, 4 oviparous, 5 binary, 6 internal, 7 bud, 8 ovary. I hope you understand. Huh? The last question 4, choose the true or false. 1 false, 2 true, 3 true, 4 false, 5 false, 6 false, 7 false, 8 true, 9 true and 10 false. I hope you are able to follow this. So with this, we are just completing the discussion chapter 9 and 10. I repeat, chapter 9 and 10, it is interrelated. So whenever questions are given, questions will be asked from both the chapters. We will continue in the next session. Thank you.